Today's video is going to be about safety. Behind me is the stickers. You saw them in the intro. In the description of the video, we'll have how to win one. And it's chosen every week right before the next video comes out. Computer randomly picks out of 2 people out of comments. So you got to make a comment. As long as it's constructive or a question, okay, or just a shout out. It's fine. It has to be a comment. You got to be a subscriber and you got to give the video a thumbs up. Simple rules. And also in that description area down there, you'll have my email in case you want to send me an email, a question about something. I'll do my best to answer it, you know. And you'll have my P.O. Box to where if you want to send me your company hat or something, a shirt, you send me a shirt, send me a 1X if it's going to shrink a lot, or an XL, either way. Okay. I'll be proud to wear your company on the next video. This one, you saw in the last video, this one here is from Ford, the brand new Bronco that's coming out. Not the Bronco Sport, but the one that looks like the old one. Anyway, this one's about safety. You saw the photo that's going to be in the intro. A lot of people take safety too light, all right? And as you know, some of you who watch some of my videos, you've got to see that I used to be a fireman. And I got to use my skills in my own house the other day. First deal, I start off my day. I get to a job site at 9 o'clock a couple days ago. It's hot as whatever already here. I knock out a front row of shrubs for this tree company. Go to the backyard, I start on a big elm. And I'm focused on the elm tree, grinding it. When I get done, one of the owners is there, the tree company. I say, hey, you know, I got it all done, and they normally take their mini skid steer and push the chips around and haul them. And he had a troubled look on his face. I said, what's going on? His brother that's in the company, who's a champion climber. Now, this is not unskilled people. Was on a roof, power pulling one last limb. I guess he reached too much, fell off the roof. They took him to a minor emergency room. I think apparently he broke maybe a rib or so, all right? So, you know what? It happens to the best of us. But, the deal that happened to me was, same day, I got concrete being poured to come back into my shop some more. And I get there and it's supposed to be 4 guys. I see 3 guys working hard, pulling and finishing and all. I look at him and say, hey, who's the 3rd guy? 3rd guy is, they point to the car. There's a little car running in my driveway and there's a guy sitting in the seat like this. Right? I go to check on him and knock on the window. He's not responding. And I ask what's going on. So he got hot, so we lifted him up and put him in the car and turned the AC on. So I tried to unlock the door and he's locked in the car. They scramble around, find a deal to unlock the car. They unlock the car. I get in there. The guy's in heat stroke. He's actually in seizures. His eyeballs are rolled in the back of his head, and I can't bring him back. Yell at the wife, get me every piece of ice we got in the house. Give me all the old cold water bottles. Give me a large towel. I iced the guy down, wet him down in the car, ice pack behind the head. He's still in seizures. I called for EMS, I called for fire. EMS took a little time to get here. Fire got here, even though there was a 2nd call, got here first. I told them, hey, this is all I can do, this is all I got. They took it over. I said, I know he's gonna need some IVs. So they take him. Put him in the ambulance. And I was worried because I've seen people like this before. I didn't think he was coming back. Long story short, I asked EMT in the ambulance, how's he doing before they took off from my house? They said, I don't know, I don't think he's gonna make it. So, you know what? The heat got him. That's what got him, the heat. Luckily, I found out this morning, all right, Saturday, I found out that he should be getting out of the ER tonight. So that's 2 days in the ER. So he was really bad, you know. And once you get hit with heat stroke, really bad, your body, anytime you get hot again at all, it gives you early warning signs, and you better get out of the heat. Another thing, I'm going to tell you a warning sign if you're out there, if you're watching this in the summertime. If you're hot as hell, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh, it must be the temperature's dropping. It's going to be a real cool breeze out here. Feels wonderful. It ain't happening. Your body's going into heat stroke. That's one of the signs, okay? If you ever get it, or get a touch of it, get close to that borderline, you won't be the same for that rest of that summer, all right? And hopefully, you don't get so bad that you don't survive. A lot of people die from it, okay? Anyway, enough of that deal here. This is what we're talking about, stump grinder safety. All right? Hold on for a second. I'm gonna roll about 3 or 4 pictures, and it's gonna show stump grinder rollovers. And then I'm gonna come back and we'll discuss it. Okay? Hold on. All right, so you saw I can't remember because I'm doing this ahead of time, 2, 3, 4 pictures of the rollovers, right? That's one of the #1 accidents with stump grinders. And how it happens, oh, and let me time out a minute. Also, if you're not embarrassed or whatever, I'll never post your name or whatever. If you have some more pictures of stump grinding accidents or whatever, and you can send them to me in my email, and it's just to help other people. And if you can tell me in the description what happened or what caused it, what you feel caused it, I'll make another video down the block. And things happen, okay? It just happens. Maybe you didn't know, maybe one of your employees didn't know, all right? So anyway, so we saw those clips of machines rolled over. All right, one of the machines rolled over. Wasn't there, but I'm gonna tell you why. Or let's just say 99.9% why. Most all machines, bigger machines, have dual wheels. Where the cutter head is, have dual wheels. Due to the weight of the engine and the cutter wheel going left to right, okay? And a lot of times a rollover happens, and I know this from experience, not from me, but from another company that said, Adam, we no longer need you anymore. We got our own machine. That lasted a week, and then they called me, Adam, we need you because our machine's in the shop. Why is it in the shop? Well, our guy was going up a hill at an angle, and the machine, brand new Bandit 2550 with a fold-out shield, rolled down the hill 3, 4, 5 times. So we don't know how long it'll be in the shop. Brand new machine. Okay? So that's one thing. The duals are there for a purpose. All right? If you have a 252 machine, the ones I always say, the veneers, the older ones especially, some of them didn't have duals, they had singles. All right? And they're perfectly fine on a level ground, flat. Okay? Sometimes, and this happened to me a long time ago, I never flipped one, but I came close. You know what it was? I was on level ground, but doing a large stump and driving over those chips like this. And I got it close, and the chips sunk in the hole, and I was like this. That was enough to where, hey, man, I always kept the come along and everything, or I was a tree company, a couple of guys got me, we straightened out, I backed out, raked the chips flat, came back in. Everything was fine. That's as close as I've come to ever being in a rollover, right? So remember that. If you do happen to have a machine and it's only got 2 wheels and 2 wheels, or 2 with 1 in the back like the 252s did, when you start getting a little uneven ground like that, rake it flat and then pursue. Rake chips away, then pursue in, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is, I'm going to show you on this board, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to show you a little drawing. I'll stop it and turn it around to you. Before I do that, the duals, all right? Some guys take them off to go through a gate to go through a backyard. I know it's a pain in the neck to put them back on, right? Take them off, you go through a gate, then put them back on. Put them back on. Especially on the bigger machines. They get like this on you, all right? Especially if your cutter head's on one side where it's going like that. Whichever angle that cutter head's going, that's where the machine's going. Sometimes you take the cutter head, you swing it the other way to counteract it. All right? So a lot of people don't realize the cutter head's real high and it's going on this side, it's leaning like that. Guess where the machine's going? Like that. All right? And then you're on that control side going, oh, oh, oh. Some of those pictures I showed you, fire department had to come get the machine off of a 28-year-old woman. The machine was on top of her. I don't know what the end result was, all right? And I'm going to show you here in a short little drawing a couple of ways you got to do stuff, all right? Because I've seen guys goes, hey, how do I grind on a hill? What? It's another point on the hill, not so much with safety, but on your engine. A lot of the machines will have, it's an angle meter, all right, with a bubble in it. And it'll say, do not go over, I don't have one on my machines don't have it. I think it's 30 degrees. Even Jeeps have them. If you don't have one on your machine, you can buy one. They used to, cheap ones, you can buy them on eBay or whatever. And sometimes if you're going up too steep, running the stump grinder like that, you can starve your motor out of oil. Same thing, you're down like that, you can starve your motor out of oil. All right, that's why they put that little thing on the engine, especially if it's the stump grinder has the engine mounted on top of the cutter boom. Those are the ones that are really, really, really susceptible to too steep of an angle, starving the engine out. Oil, all right. So let me lift this up, see if we come over here for just a second and see the magic of the drawing. Well, I think there's too much glare, but I'm going to draw it anyway. We'll erase it, and I'll draw it lower so you can see it. Here's your hill, comes down and goes flat. We got that? All right. Your stump is, let's just say Mr. Stump is going like that. If you're coming from here, okay. But let's just say the stump's here, right? And it's way up at an angle here. Remember, you might starve your engine, okay? Or you're coming and you're going to grind down here. You're going down the hill. This is one thing you need to know about stump grinders. As they start biting and you're going down the hill, all your weight is here on the machine, right? All your weight is here. If you grab too much, it can pull you down the hill. Or when you're pulling left or right, you could come and fall off the hill. All right? Sometimes on a large hill, say you got the stump and it's here, and I've done it in a video. Look, I have another video. You come with straight attack from the side and you grind yourself a platform going in sideways. You're grinding a platform. So you're grinding through his hill. That's another option you have in some places, not every place. All right? Now, I had a 252 years ago. On the back of that 252, on the back, you have a spot to where you can clip it in, or it's a square tubing. I used to have my pickup truck, and I would cable it on there if I was doing a stump that was right here at the crest of a hill. If I was doing right there, because the 252 is heavy in the front, has nothing for weight in the back where that steering wheel is, nothing. You could really lift it up. Another thing we used to do on a 252 right here where that single wheel was, there was a short piece of steel. We would stack weights on them. Old used weights, put them on there just for that as a counterbalance. All right, but number one, let me put this back up to regular world. Sorry about that, and I hopefully you understood a little bit of what I was talking about. It's all about this also. You're going across a hill. Here's the hill. You're going across it, right? Make sure your counterweight, your head of your wheel is into the hill. Into the hill as low as it'll go, like wheel height, okay? Put all your weight going towards the upper part of the hill, not the downhill. Because many rollovers happen because the guy had the cutter wheel facing down the hill. And it just took the machine with it, all right? That cutter wheel could be used as a great counterbalance, pulled over the other way. And that comes from experience, all right? And the number one thing, you get to a job and it's got a hill like that and you're unsure, don't be afraid to walk away. Call another stump grinding guy. That's why you gotta have friends. Ask him, pick his mind, how do I do this? If he's a good guy or has any morals, he'll come out and do it. Do you know I have another guy in my town calls me and says, I can't do this job. It's too steep of a hill, it's too this, too that, or whatever. He's got a Carlton in his two-wheel drive, a big one, a 7015, I think. I'm not a Carlton guy, so I think it's a 7015 with 65 horse Deutz diesel. Anyway, a lot of times he'll walk away from that stuff and call me, hey Adam, you got four-wheel drive and all, you know what you're doing, you know. And I do it. Another thing that gets guys, they're going through a property and it's got a gate, okay? But the land is like this. How do I get through there? So I always keep 2x4s and stuff. So I'll bring up this side, the machine drives through straight. Some guys will get stuck in there because the controls will get so far and I can't pull the control, I can't go in or out. They got stuck, all right? So the boards, that happens too, and you ain't got no boards, right? You could take your cutter wheel, come over here, come down, push it down, level out the machine, and drive on your wheel. The cutter wheel will balance you through there, all right? That's when experience comes into play. All right, I'm not trying to bore you guys on this and safety or whatever, but there's another, besides rollovers, there's another very important part that I see guys doing all the time. I drive by, I see a tree company doing stuff. Sometimes I want to slam on my brakes, but I say, you know what? They're probably going to tell me, and they're not my tree company. There's somebody else that I don't know or whatever. And I know the young guys will say, hey, mind your own business. I see a guys, and this is very common. They leave the machine running. The cutter wheel is running, all right? They've got brick, piece of steel, or whatever you discovered in there, and it's loose. They turn the cutter wheel over to the other way, and it's still running. They walk in front and reach down into the hole and pick up the brick or rock, or stick their foot down there to kick it out. You know what happens? Sometimes the machine's running there, the guy's tired, he's not paying attention, he may grab something and come over, all right? Or he goes to kick it and he kicks too much, grabs his pants leg, cuts him, brings him into the cutter wheel. You don't think that happens? It happens. Why do you think Vermeers went to this? They got that bar that goes up and down. Almost all new stump grinders have that bar that comes down in front. It's a man bar to keep you away from walking into or falling into that deal, right? A lot of them, like Vermeers, came out with a deal too. Dead man controls. So you might want the wheels running and all, you let go of those controls to walk away for a minute and the cutter wheel's engaged, shuts the machine off. I've had this happen several times to me. I remember 5 years ago, I had like an 80-something-year-old man go to his yard, he tells me what he wants. He's standing off to a little distance, wants to watch me do the job. I think it's okay, he's away. I'm grinding, I'm focusing on the stump. Everything right there at the stump, I'm focusing. Corner of my eye, what do I see? Start seeing the part of her pants leg, coming around. He wants to get around and see the last part of me cutting the stump. Leans like this. Bam, I turn the key off. Instead of just disengaging the wheel, I want the whole thing off. Shut the wheel off, it shuts everything down. What does the old man do? Falls down right next to my cutter wheel. Everything's off. Hits his head on the last corner of the stump. I'm like, what the hell was he doing here? He was 25 feet away before. Curiosity. And me, I was focused on the stump. It was hot as hell. I saw him far away, and I think he's still far away. I mean, I'm thinking, well, what idiot would do that? Sometimes people get curious. Sometimes I'm grinding stumps, and what happens? There's a family in the house. Ma'am, I'm here. I'm going to do the stump. Okay, no promise. I'll be in the front. I'll be taken care of. I'm focused on the stump. Do my peripheral vision. Looking over the side. What do I see? 3 or 4 kids. Hey, what you doing? Hey, I had to shut off the machine. Excuse me. Can you take your kids back in the house? I don't need 5, 6, 7-year-olds running around the stump grinder. Well, I said, ma'am, I don't want to hurt your kids. I'm sorry. I really want to say, what are you, an idiot? But I don't. I said, ma'am, I tried the book. Be nice. Ma'am, safety first. I don't want anything to happen to your kids. They're getting a little too close. If you want to watch from inside the house or upstairs from the window, that's fine. All right. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do that. You know, grandma comes out, same thing with the grandkids. I mean, it's a big experience. I'm there. No, ma'am, sorry. Due to safety reasons, you gotta be away. All right. So that's another thing. Machine, you find something in a hole, shut it off. Shut it off. At least shut off the cutter wheel, please. And then turn the wheel away from wherever you're completely. I understand we're going, we get hot, we get tired, want to get it over with, whatever. I understand, all right? You got a helper. Your helper's, say you don't have a dozer blade on your machine like I do, and the helper's raking out stuff, you're grinding, raking out stuff. You know what's happened? Years ago, I had a helper, used to help me out. I'm grinding, he got so complacent, whatever, he looks over, sticks the rake in right when I'm coming by, takes the aluminum large landscaping rake I had, whap, right out of his hand. I was like, what the hell were you thinking? I'll get tired. This is the last time I needed helpers. You know? My son used to help me. You know what? Stay away. I shut her off. I back her out. Rake. Stand away. I grind. Okay? Here's another thing you need to know about. I see this happening a lot, and I tell you, there's going to be a bunch of you tell me I'm number one right now, in a bad way. You're grinding in a stump, and there might be pea gravel, something like that, or it might just be, you know, some areas of the United States have a lot of little rocks and stuff the trees grow in, right? I want you to remember this, especially on a remote control guy. I see a lot of you guys doing this, and I know you're good with your machines, but you gotta be honest with me. This does happen, all right? Your last little bit, you're gonna shut off your wheel, but you're raising your wheel, you're raising your cutter wheel at the same time you're shutting it off. You know what happens a lot of times? A projectile shoots out straight ahead. That's where the window gets broke or whatever, a car window gets dented or whatever the hell. That last, you shut off your, it's still rotating and you're pulling out of the hole, shoot. So a lot of the guys, when you run the remotes, and I know you know it, you stand to the side and run it, or you stand to the side at an angle and run it. Dead on, I really don't believe in dead on, or I really don't believe in standing on top of the big ass stump while you're grinding, the wheel's right there in front of you. You know, but that's your business, you're the stump grinder. But if you have an employee, don't let your employee do that. You own it, hey, you wanna do it, do it. Got an employee? No, because you'll be charged. There's a case going on right now, some landscaping company, I know you guys heard about it or whatever, took one of the workers and never ran a machine, and I still don't understand. They said he was tied to the machines. Maybe he was on a hill or some crap. Well, apparently he died, okay? He fell into the cutter wheel, all right? And if you search Google, stump grinding accidents, there's quite a few guys missing a leg or feet. That's from getting your feet down there too close, all right? Or somebody standing on the stump. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like a prick or anything. I just want some of you guys want to get in this business and stuff. Remember, you're dealing with a very dangerous, it's a piece of machinery. It's very dangerous. Just like, hey, a circular saw is a deadly tool in the wrong hand. Table saw, you know, hell, a reciprocate, you know, a sawzall, anything can be a day. Tools require you to think a little about safety, all right? And we all get tired and we all get sloppy sometimes. So if you're getting tired, stop, take a break, take a breather, come back and finish, all right? Anyway, hopefully I didn't offend anyone. That wasn't the point of this video, all right? And I just want some basic stump grinder safety, all right? Nobody around real close when you're doing it, all right? Remember when you're coming up, the wheel's coming up for the end, try to shut it off while it's still in a lower position. If something's in the hole, shut off the cutter wheel, turn it away, then go, if you can, get a rake or whatever, pull it out or whatever. If it's right there, all right, I understand you're gonna get it. If you're gonna reach down in the hole, shut the machine off and clean up the hole, all right? Or require your employees to do that, all right? Anyway, I know it's a long video, it's 19 minutes or whatever, but God bless you. I appreciate every one of you. And if you belong to the mafia, I want you to be around for a long, long time. All right, I'm on my way out, so all the crap I know about, I'm trying to share with you. All right, I got some more ideas and some stuff, and there's another very good channel out there, Kingsman Enterprises. He's on YouTube. Tells you how to start stump grinding business stuff. He made a video the other day that about the $50 stump guy, and I could go back and forth a little bit on there, but there are times that I charge $50. All right, I do very well at it. That's for a 6-inch stump. You ain't gonna catch me doing no big stump for $50. I'm sorry. Only if you're a relative of mine or a close friend of mine, or if you happen to be a chief or something like that when I was still in the department. Yeah, I'd take care of you. All right. So he's right a lot, but he needed. I got some little pointers or things to pick at him because I've been a stump grinder longer than a tree guy, and he's been both. And I was a tree guy too. All right. And I'll give you some tips about being a subcontractor, all right, and how I handle it. Mine's unorthodox, but it made me a lot of money, and I'm glad to spread all this wealth onto you guys. See you in the next one, all right?